Hi, it's Dave here, senior recruiter at Aardvark Swift, and I'm lucky enough to be speaking to Roman, co-founder at Overview Orc. And we're just going through information about the studio. We're just going to dial in on the candidate side of things and what they look for in a profile. So, Roman, talk to us. When you're looking at profiles, candidates, what is it? What stands out?
Well, for us, it's the platform that we're building. As much as we're trying to do something that's not really been done before, in that we're building a massively multiplayer game, but it's a game that's connected to what's happening in the real world, so real concepts happening. The thing that we're really that really excites us is when a candidate has got a skill set that isn't just they are a environments person or
Yeah.
they are some that I think as the industry evolves and as the art form of game design evolves, you're seeing that people have these multidisciplinary skills, and I think that
Yeah.
that's for us is really important, especially as we're scaling quite quickly. You don't want someone who comes in and goes, "Listen, I'm just the person who does that, mate. Like I wouldn't know about that." You kind of, the things that have been really exciting is when one of our devs has said, "Look, I know we were just going to try and work on this aspect of it, but like last night I was thought, wouldn't it be interesting if?" And they show us something, and I think, you know what, we had a big meeting about what we're supposed to do, and none of us came up with anything as clever as what this person can do on their own laptop at 3 a.m. and with an
Yeah.
hour in Unreal. So I guess that's the thing. People who have that creative spark as well, that it is really important. And like it goes without saying that obviously we want people who are like that are pros who can handle these kind of tasks and who are just great at what they do. But I think that especially for a platform that is being built for artists with artists in mind, then having that flair of creativity and imagination, and also just kind of a bit of daring that like I think I
Yeah.
can do this. And then the last thing, and it sounds like a really obvious point, but like is that they want to be part of a team, and there's this idea that we are a team that are gonna, that the thing about these sort of projects is that you're there with the people that you work on, and the highs and lows are things that we all experience together,
Yeah.
and that when this is a success, it's not because of one person or it's not because of the co-founders. It's because we all work together, so it's everyone's victory. And I
Yeah.
think that sounds like, it might sound like a slightly idealistic thing, but people who come in and they feel like it's their project, that it's not just that they're working on it, it's probably just a good bit of advice for people applying for any of those things, that that if you're that if you're going in there and saying, well, look, I'll go and I'll do the task and then I've kind of done my bit, then that's great. And there's a certain type of person that does that really well. But I think for us is, we're looking for people to go on this together as an adventure, and
Yeah.
as something that is quite ambitious, but it was also already got generated quite a lot of excitement, and it's something that we want to be able to share, I guess. And it's the thing that you're kind of thinking, well, I love it when I get an email and it's one of the devs who says, like, I just had this thought, and I was just having my dinner, and I had this thought. Couldn't we just do this? I think that's amazing that people have taken it like into their heart, and that they're actually thinking about it, and that they're really putting a lot of themselves in it. And I think that's what it comes down to, is that this project will be the sum total of all the people that work on it. And so it's a bit like, without, I don't want to go too many cliches that, things being a family, but you do see the work of all these people when you look at these classic games, and you look at, massive moments in gaming history, and it's the right team, the right dynamic. You can't really put your finger on it,
Yeah.
but it's a group that really kind of put it all together.
Well, I think to bring back to the idealistic side of things, you need that. I think you need people who can look beyond the pale, because you are going into the unknown and you don't know how it's going to turn out. So you need that complete belief in what you're doing, and you can only do that if you structure it with the right people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that like the people that you choose for the very start as well, their fingerprints will be all over it for
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Even, and it sounds crazy to think, well, like the decisions we're making on the tech stack now. I have no preconceptions that I know as much about what is happening in like the cutting edge of how servers are being used, or what gamers need, or the sort of
Yeah.
scale of things are taking. And so having someone who's sort of with us, who is the person I just trust implicitly on that, that's, I'm putting the entire project in their hands. So it's someone, and of course I trust them,
Yeah.
and I trust their talent. And I guess that's the thing, like, just that it's not as much of saying, can you do the job? It's that, can you be the person who assumes this as a responsibility and can really throw their passion and themselves into it.
And that really comes through, mate. I mean, that's all great, Roman. I love doing this because, you know, I love speaking with Anne, but I don't. You still feel disjointed. So the more I get to speak to people like you, the more buy-in I get, and yeah, for sure. I'm so excited to be working with you guys.
Me too. I'm really excited to see who we can bring in. I mean, for me, it's as well, my background is sort of putting together bands and stuff, which is like, well, you know instantly when someone starts playing, oh, this is the guy who should be playing drums for us.
Right.
And I think with this, it's like for me, it's so strange to be doing these hires and whatever. And like I've met the person. I think, shit, we're about to raise money and we've got all these things in place, and I'm not going to be like, all right, well, this guy is the person we've chosen to be with us for 5 years, so the entire fate of the project rises on him. And it's just like, I know him as a little tiny video on my phone. I'm never even,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I get it, mate. I get it. Well, thanks so much for taking time out. I know you're always busy, man.